they get the best out of the college experience in the sense of they are a real true college student earning real college credit. They are a Central Penn Knight, and with it being fully online and asynchronous, they don't have to worry about ordering textbooks.
Welcome back to Shelf Confidence, a podcast brought to you by the Pennsylvania Food Merchants Association. Today we're talking about a standout workforce development partnership between Giant and Central Penn College that's helping grow leadership from within. Now in its fifth year, this custom 5-week program was designed specifically to train Giant's next generation of managers, and it's working. We're joined with Curtis Voelker from Central Penn, Dr. Jack Babinchak, who teaches the program, Anthony Amadure from Giant's teaching and talent and learning team, and a former student, Christian, who went through it all last year. We'll talk about how that partnership came to be, how it's evolved, and how other businesses might take inspiration from it. So let's get started. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the program.
Good, good.
Good afternoon. How you doing, John?
Doing great. Excited to have you guys here. Well, we're going to dive in. I got a question for you, Curtis. So can you give us a little overview on Central Penn College and its role in workforce development?
Sure thing, and thank you for having us, John. So Central Penn College has a rich history dating back to 1881. We're located in Enola, which is in Cumberland County, Pennsylvania, for viewers or listeners who are unaware of who Central Penn College is and what we do. And as a career-focused institution, our premise with our Center for Workforce Excellence is to meet organizations where they are, meaning not just handing out our course catalog and saying, here's what we have, here's what we're stuck with. It's meeting partners where they are to develop in-demand, engaging, exclusive educational experiences, and just really excited to be on here with you, with our great partners and friends at the Giant Company to share a little bit more of our partnership story. And when we get to the point about kind of sharing how this all came to be, I love sharing that story as well, because as an alum of Central Penn College, that start of this program really came down to a conversation between alum to alum.
Well, let's dive into it a little bit. Tell me a little about that story.
Absolutely. So right around when the world ended, I'm not sure if we can say the pandemic word, but right around when everything was happening, we were getting an influx of requests from people that were sharing, I'm switching industries, I'm switching roles. I don't have time to devote to a full-fledged 4-year bachelor's degree, but I want to show I'm a continuous learner. Do you have anything shorter term? So that helped us as a college decide to launch around 20 different short-term certificates. Well, on the other side, we not only had individuals reaching out, we had companies that we were in talks with about, hey, now they're getting all these new people switching roles and switching industries. How do we onboard, reskill, retool, upskill these incoming people and the current personnel that we have? And it came down to meeting a fellow Central Penn College graduate with the Giant Company. He has since moved on to a different organization, but it was from that initial conversation that helped us understand the different needs, unique needs that the Giant Company has with their employees to help them understand kind of how to upskill, retool to help them in that world of management and leadership. So that really started the conversation to the custom build that Dr. Jack was a mainstream effort here in terms of not just signing them up through our standard courses, really meeting the custom needs that Giant needed.
No, I think that's fantastic. And speaking of Giant, so Anthony, got a question here for you. So what led Giant to approach Central Penn with this program idea, and what specific needs were you hoping to address with this?
Well, Giant, with our 100 years, 100-year plus of serving our local community and being a good community partner, we really wanted to partner with someone from the local community in order to focus on developing our team members. I mean, our focus is on our customers, not just the ones that walk in our store, but our internal team members as well. So we put a very big focus on personal development. And we know one of those ways is through continuing education. So we thought it would be a great time to kind of do what we consider a jumpstart program, where we have this program that meets the needs of our team members with the crazy schedules that we work in grocery, with limited times, with avoiding the seasons, with those rushes, and to give them an education point where they can come in, get the skills that they need to start developing in their career, and also encourage them to maybe later on take advantage of our furthering tuition assistance program and really growing long-term with the organization.
Well, I'm sure you could have gone in a lot of directions. Why'd you go this direction? I'd love to pull that thread a little more.
It's one aspect of development that we wanted to focus on, continuing education. What are some baseline skills, knowledge that a manager is going to need? What are they going to need as far as psychology to get along with people? What are they going to need as basic business skills with all the new systems that's coming out? Everybody needs Excel and statistics. So, especially in grocery,
Hmm.
we thought Central Penn is a perfect partner to do this, to sit work, to really hear what our needs were, to custom build a program and not try to shove something off the shelf down our throats. So it was a great relationship where they came with ideas. We looked it over. We worked together to find out what's the best program that we can make for our team members at this particular point in their career. And ever since we started it, it's been a demand program within the organization year after year.
No, it's great, and it's also great to see members, PFMA members, working on something like this. As someone at PFMA, we love to see that. So I heard you mention a moment ago that you guys take care of this for your staff as well. Like this is all taken care of by Giant.
Yes, so it is 6 course program, 5 weeks between February and October. So again, we wanted to fit it in specifically to meet that sweet spot of the year for people who work in grocery, and we take care of all of the tuition for the program. They walk out with 18 credits that they can go then and reapply to Central Penn. Now they've got a semester and a half jump start on a full degree, and they can
Yeah.
access our tuition assistant program.
No, that's fantastic. Well, speaking of the college here, let's go ahead and jump over to Dr. Babinchak. Jack, can you go ahead and tell us a little bit about the 5 week program? I know you kind of teed it up with the credits and everything, but can you take a little deeper dive in and kind of explain how this works and what you do?
Sure. Yes. So just picture a typical undergraduate college class in its structure and its content, in the assessments, discussion boards. That's what we have for Giant. The courses are fully online and asynchronous. So as Anthony was saying, there's 6 classes total. They each run 5 weeks with a week off in between. So given the class, whatever class we're in, a student will log into our learning management system. They'll access whatever week that we're in, and within that week, they will find the content, the video lectures. I record and edit videos, the video lectures for the week. So whatever content is going to be in that week, they'll find that in the courses. They'll have reading material, supplemental videos, the assignments and assessments. And because it's asynchronous, the student will have the entire week to get that work done. We don't have a set time when the student has to log in, listen to a lecture. They have the entire week to kind of manage their own time. Whenever they have time
Nice.
to log in and do it, as long as they have it done by the end of that given week, then everything's okay. So we have built-in flexibility, but there's also the rigor of any academic course that you will find. So we have 11-week courses at the college. These are 5 weeks, so we're taking 11 weeks and putting it into 5 weeks for the students. So yes, it's difficult, but they're taking one course at a time, and we do have flexibility built in. And when we first start talking to Giant about this, I guess 5 years ago, I guess it was, and we decided on the courses that we're going to offer. And obviously, it was, hey, what courses are going to help the employees the most in terms of their job duties and professional development. So we have the courses, and then it was my job from there to take the course and fit it into what Giant was doing in the real world. So, for example, we have an operations management course. Well, we're not going to focus on production, unit productions and things like that. We're going to focus more on inventory and financial analysis and looking at strategic initiatives of Giant and how that plays a role into the jobs of the employees. So the courses are designed with Giant in mind. The assessments are designed with what Giant employees are going to be doing throughout the course of their day or their week.
So it's a custom program.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we spent a lot of time doing it. We did not just say, okay, here's our operation management class, here, Giant, here's what it is. We took it from the start and said, okay, let's go ahead and design it for Giant.
Oh, I think that's really cool.
Mm.
The other
So,
thing,
so
John, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt
please.
there, I love about
No.
this is, and it may just sound minimal, very small, but I kind of like that they get the best out of the college experience in the sense of they are a real true college student earning real college credit. They are a
Yeah.
Central Penn Knight, and with it being fully online and asynchronous, they don't have to worry about ordering textbooks. Imagine being a college student not
Mm.
having the stress of finding your textbook for the course that you log in, everything's there. So all they need to focus on is strategy and scheduling throughout each week to just make sure they're able to devote their time as they can Monday through Friday. Maybe it's an hour or two there, and on a Saturday, maybe they have 4 hours of work. That flexibility combined with not having the stress of the materials they need for the course, where they can just focus and get things done. We've seen it year after year just really come to the table of helping Giant team members really just focus on getting that work done.
Yeah,
No,
it
I think
was an
that's
absolute need because of working those schedules. Most of our team members that are participating in the program are coming from stores. So, from week to week to week, those things change. And development wise too, it's kind of two prong. It doesn't just benefit the team member actually going through it. What we worked with Central Penn was we developed a mentor system as well. So we know that one of the biggest credits to success is an active and visible mentor, someone to be there to talk to the team member on a day-to-day, or not a day-to-day, but on maybe a weekly basis to find out how's it's going. Are you doing well at work? Are you getting enough time here? How are your classes? Are things getting tough? So we have a special session where we identify, and it's a developmental opportunity for that mentor as well. So we have a special session that we do with them to teach them how to be a mentor. We have a midpoint. We just had our midpoint mentor meeting to say, hey, look, we're starting to slide into the back half now. We're halfway through. And really, they get that opportunity to what it's like to manage, to follow up, to connect with somebody, to help somebody through pain points. So it's two prong of this program. It's not just one team member focused. It's a whole cadre of team members that come together because we have to coordinate with the stores, with the store managers, that they're aware, with our human resource business partners. So it's really up and down the chain that everybody's there, everybody's active, everybody has buy-in, everybody's supporting this team member to ensure that they are successful. And it's paid dividends for us. We have well over 100 team members that have graduated from the program, and we see many more in the future.
That's awesome. So it's a whole team effort then, right? This goes up and down the line. Do you allow a certain amount of time for them to work on time on the schoolwork, or is that done after hours?
We work with their stores, store managers, and HR business partner to do necessary schedule adjustments to give them the time that they need in order to get their schoolwork done.
Oh, that makes sense. That's really cool. Speaking of schoolwork, let's go ahead and talk to our student here a little bit. Christian, I got a question for you as our seasoned veteran of the program here. I would definitely love to know about your experience going through the program and how it's helped your career at Giant. Tell us the story.
Absolutely. Very good question. So, as far as my experience, short answer, it was a wonderful experience. I must say though, before starting it, I was very nervous. I was very anxious because I was, I don't know, years removed from college. So when I got my undergraduate, so I was a bit hesitant because at the same time, I was also starting a new role within the company. So doing two new things at once, it was very anxiety inducing, but that was immediately squashed within the first week of starting that. I mean, I only took one online course prior. It was not the best experience. So you could say I walked in with a bias, but it was a great experience. Like was mentioned in previous questions, having that mentorship part really helped as well. I had a mentor prior to the program within my almost 23 years with the Giant company. So it helped. And it was just so amazing. Each week when I would touch point, there was always at least one or two things that my mentor could connect to me on about with what was being discussed and handled. I also really enjoyed the parts where we would have those discussion boards with other students. Um, I mean, if being a student was a full-time job, I would love that. But not being in class, you don't have that interaction. So having those boards in place was definitely important, and it's something I really enjoyed. Also, the flexibility was great with my schedule, at least also starting a new role within the company. Um, the most important part of it was sticking to a schedule and setting aside that time and sticking to it, especially because the program was almost a whole year long. You had to get into a rhythm. And luckily, I was able to do that very quickly because I'm a creature of habit. I like having things laid out. I'm very analytical. So it worked out. And as far as, sorry, what was the second part of the question?
No, just how it's helped your career. I'd love to see, like, obviously going to school is important, but how are you able to apply that knowledge to your career at Giant?
Absolutely. I mean, so I went from from an HR space and recruitment space into more of an inclusion and culture type of space. So it helped me with communicating with other team members who work in different parts within the company. So I went from working in stores to now working in the support office. So having to interact with other teams, whether it be marketing, learning, communications. Um, it, it's hard to put it into words, but I feel like, sorry.
You're fine.
I feel like it really helped me as far as different concepts that we were taught about in class. It could be something as a SWOT analysis or a balanced scorecard. I found that each time something new was introduced, I always found like it mixed its way into what I was doing with my own work. And it really helped boost my confidence, knowing that we were going over something in class that I could immediately apply to what I was doing with my own work.
Oh, I think that's great. I'm having flashbacks to college myself. You were talking about books a minute ago, and I'm like, oh God, I remember waiting in line and all that stuff too. So no, that's really great to see that you're able to apply that directly to what you're doing. And
I'm glad Christian mentioned the not being in school for X number of years, whatever that was, because that's something we keep in mind when we're designing the courses is when not only maybe have been a lot of these employees been in school for a while, but they probably never had a exposure to an online course before. So we try to make navigation, we try to make it intuitive. Just we try to simplify the whole thing so there's no frustration when they get in and say, okay, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? As a matter of fact, last year we moved to an even easier. We use Blackboard as our learning management system. We moved to a navigate ultra base view, which is just a very, very simple way of navigating the course. So I'm glad to hear you mention that, Christian, because it's something we put a lot of thought into. How can we make this as simple as possible and easy to navigate?
no, that's amazing. So Anthony, now that you guys are in the sixth cohort, what kind of results have you seen, and what kind of adjustments have you made to the program over these many years now?
As far as success, the level of confidence that we see people coming into this program are the ones that are going out and pursuing larger positions, advanced positions. They are creating stronger IDP goals. They're more vocal and sitting and connecting with a manager or a mentor in order to discuss what their future plans are, because now they have this feeling of success. I did this. I maybe didn't think I could do this. Maybe I'm the first person in my family to go to school. Now they have that confidence level coming out, and the store managers see a change when that team member comes back. The HR business partners who work with them on a daily basis, they see that change. Just the competence of trying new things, maybe not getting rattled when a major change or initiative or a problem or something comes along, knowing how to better sit and plan and prepare and incorporate information, data, to do presentations, just to talk and communicate better. So again, soft skills, we say, but are they really soft skills? Is good communication and knowing how to speak with people and transfer knowledge? I don't really consider that a soft skill. And then as far as strategic planning, analysis, really going and being able to take a different look at a P&L and not have that cursory understanding, I'm looking at these items, but really looking at it to sit and apply. And what am I supposed to get out of this? You see them helping other people and motivating other people and really looking at, this is the next thing I want to pursue. Hey, Anthony, what's the next workshop that's coming up? Hey, can you help us on this? Or we hear the referrals. Anthony, I went through this. I know this person, and this person that should go to the program or should be interested in this, or can you come out and help us on that? So it really just spurs knowledge, it spurs development, and really accelerates people. And it's that confidence and courage. I mean, I think that's what it boils down to, that they achieve through that success, because it is not an easy program. It starts off fairly vanilla, but it gets to rocky road pretty quick as we get into the advanced courses, to use a nice grocery and ice cream analogy there. So
I like it. So I want to dig a little deeper on that. So obviously it's been going on for a number of years. How has it changed from day one to year 5? How's the change come about?
Focus wise, we tried running multiple cohorts at one time, with a little bit too much. We've worked on class adjustments and in size. We have worked on the coordination between all of the different levels to make sure people get the time that we needed. As far as content, we really haven't tweaked too much on it. A little bit here and there. What we found is it seems to be a pretty good mix of courses, but when you start to hit course 5, that's when things really get a little hairy, and it's about the preparation. So a lot of the adjustments is prepping the students, of teaching them how to get in good habits, which they're going to get, and they're going to take that back with them when they go to the store, because of course there's never a hurried day or anything on fire in the grocery industry.
Never,
I mean, it's
ever.
always
No.
calm. Yeah. So again, they can take that and they can sit and organize this along with everything else. We see that transfer. It was really a bigger refinement on the mentoring program. What do we want to get out of it? How do we want them to sit and work? And really, it was something we kind of didn't expect. It was, here's this whole other area of development for the team members that was a key component. The coursework and everything, we spent so much time on the front end getting the mix right, that unless something monumental, standard industry learning changes, I don't think we're going to really change much. If anything, maybe there's something new. Maybe we swap out one course for something else, depending on a market need. But right now, it's pretty solid.
No, that's amazing. I saw you nodding there, Curtis. Anything you want to jump in and add?
And I know that Dr. Jack unmuted his microphone as well. I loved the last couple points from different responses here. For anyone listening on this at a later time, you note all the different systems and departments and teams and people that go into truly making this program a success. And I really like to kind of juxtapose this between this style of program and your standard tuition reimbursement program, where a company tuition reimbursement's awesome. And if companies are willing to support that, that's amazing. But with that type of program, those employers are sitting back for 11 weeks, 15 weeks, waiting to see, okay, did Christian get at least a C or above? Are we paying for it? Well, in the Giant Company case with our partnership, Anthony and his team are each week and bi-weekly having a scheduled meeting where they are seeing actively how their participants are learning and growing each and every week through each and every course. There aren't any surprises at the end of the 5-week course of who made the cut and who didn't. And to take it a step further, Dr. Jack actually does some pre and post test analysis on a number of classes. So for the opportunity for Giant or any organization to custom build a program to meet the needs that you are looking for your employees, and then to actively get the data and updates and not have to wait, I think is truly a remarkable shift in terms of the partnership between education and organizations. And I'll stop there because I know Dr. Jack, you unmuted, had some points as well.
So you can tell Curtis is in school for his doctorate degree too, because he's talking about pre-test and post-test. No, he's absolutely right. We like any other college course, we have we have program learning objectives, certificate overall learning objectives, and we have course level objectives, and we assess those at the end of every year. We present them at graduation, actually. So for the certificate level learning objectives, we have the things that you would absolutely think you need: critical thinking, problem solving, communication. We have all those things that we want to improve, and we've shown those over the 5 years that we've shown improvement in those things through each of the cohorts that we ran. So that's that's definitely a positive.
All right.
And we do make changes as if we see something, maybe we need to add a little more content here, or we need to take something away here, or when we started out, a lot of the stuff, there was supply chain issues with COVID and things like that. So okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of mostly behind us now. So let's change that content a little bit to reflect what's going. Let's change that to reflect what's going on today. But Anthony's right. There's been no widespread sweeping changes in the courses or the content, just maybe contextual things or situational things we've changed.
Well, if it isn't broke, don't fix it, you know. But real quick, Christian, while we're on the subject here, how was that? I'd love to hear your perspective. We're kind of talking about this. We're kind of talking about you a little bit. I'd love to hear your feedback on what's being said about that interaction. Was it good or was it weird having your boss up in your homework? How did that go?
I mean, it wasn't weird at all. Like I said, that having that touch point was very important, going over that. And I mean, I also was fortunate because Anthony sits behind me. So if I had any additional questions, I had him right behind me, uh, watching. But yeah, it definitely helped having that open communication at all times.
So a quick question for the Central Penn guys here. So if Penn College offered a degree in eating like a broke college student, what would you require? What would be the required courses? What do you think? Ramen 101 or advanced pizza preservation? What are you guys thinking?
Ramen would be the first, no question. That's
I'm a pizza guy myself, so I think the answer to that is we would meet the needs of the students and offer both in terms of how they need it.
I love that. For me,
No.
it was always surviving on Tostino's pizza. I grew up in Florida, so that was a popular cheap pizza at Publix. And then I do a lot with ramen these days, I'll tell you what. But getting back to the serious stuff here. So Curtis, can you share how the additional non-credit 6-hour course for store managers came about and what makes it different from the 5-week program? I know there's some variation and difference there, and I'd love to have you flesh that out a little for us.
Yeah, so as I mentioned at the start of our recording here, how I love the story, the origin story of our partnership between conversation between alumni. I love this story as well because I got a call from Anthony one day, and I think this was maybe towards the end of year three, and he said, "Hey, we have a problem." Hey, what's going on? Talk me through it. Well, certificate program's going really well. Okay, what's the issue? Well, the managers of all these students in the program are kind of saying, Anthony, where's our cool program? What do we get to experience and do? Okay, I could see why that would be a problem. He's like, so what can we build for them? Awesome. Let's take a look. So, Anthony shared at that management level, they can't be out of the store 3, 4 times. And we had a similar program we were doing at the time with different organizations in the region. So we connected and said, how do we make this work to meet the needs of Giant, just like we did the first time? Understanding it's non-credit, there's no homework. We could do this training in a day, 6 hours. And the first year, Dr. Jack and I traveled throughout the state to different regional locations for Giant, mainly in the Philadelphia area and their headquarters around Carlisle, and trained a number of different types of management levels within the Giant company. So where this is different, credit versus non-credit, fully online asynchronous versus fully in person. So basically, I really just think it speaks to how we as a college are trying to meet the needs of organizations no matter what their modality is, learning style, whatever it is, we're going to do our best to come to the table for our partners. Anthony, would love to get your perspective of, as you were getting that feedback from managers and, hey, what's in this for us, and kind of how that program's going. I know we have some sessions coming up here soon.
Yeah, and we just had a bumper crop sign up for the one, is it next week, I believe? So we've got two new courses, single day courses called Essential Leadership Skills, Foundational and Advanced. And what it is, think of baseline courses that everybody in a certain role should take. And so we've kind of got that layered out by role as far as, hey, look, here's 4 or 5 courses or workshops or things that you should take to be successful in your role. And then we have, once you finish those, you can work on individual items. And then we have some advanced items to start looking at to get you ready for your next position. So these ESL courses are just that, one for managers that are new to role, let's say 1 to 3 years, and then the advanced class is for 3+ years. They dovetail a little bit, but they give a nice summary and a little bit more detail on specific areas on how you become a better manager. What are some of those skills that you need? So this kind of sits and preps you. It gets you ready for your entry into one of those roles. And then if you want to, you're like, yep, I'm ready to go full core, you can apply in order to get into the once a year credit program then. So they one dovetails into the other because we couldn't get everybody in this program. And so we wanted to wet the whistle, as we say, of keeping these other people interested, but giving them the skills that they need at the time that they want, and really open it up to everybody. So when I say we have, deli, front end, center store, support office, distribution center, giant direct, we have people from every area of the company coming into these courses, and we've seen it kind of balance out nicely with participants.
I think that's great. So, Dr. Jack, what's been the response from store managers who've gone through this training? I'd love to hear any success stories. I know you're right there on the front line, so tell us a story.
Yeah, the response has been positive. I'm still in contact with a few people who have gone through the 4 credit part of it. I'll go to the local giant and I'll see Marie there, and we'll talk, and I'll say, hey, there's a new cohort going, and I'll ask her how she's doing in her job and her role, and you know all the feedback that I've been getting anyway has been positive. The in-person stuff is really gratifying because you have instant feedback there too. So when the training's over, you'll sit around for 15-20 minutes and talk to people as they're leaving, and again, the feedback has been positive. As to the content and just we try to make it fun. I don't know if that usually goes hand in hand with education, but we try to make learning fun and take away any anxiety or stress that might be associated with, and that's both in the classroom and in person when we do. So, that's something we really try to focus on.
I think that's great. I got a quick question for our giant guys here. So, what's a food industry myth that students come in believing only to find out it's completely false? Like, does searing the meat really lock in the juices, or is that just chef television propaganda? What do you guys think?
I would say them using cold water to crisp vegetables instead of the proper way, trim the ends, the medium temp, and then hitting them with the cold water in order to firm them up again. So that's an argument I get into with my wife all the time. And I say, wait a minute, I'm the grocery guy. So, and I'm still wrong, but I know I'm not. So
Delicate balance arguing with the missus. I hear you. So, kind of broaden this out a little bit here. So, for any of the retailers or organizations that are listening, what advice would you guys have for them launching a similar work development program?
It's prep. Get in, sit down, talk, and understand what your needs are. Don't do an education program just to do an education program. What are you trying to get out of it? What are the ultimate goals? What are you trying to solve for? If people go through it and they're like, okay, now what do I do with it? You did not do your homework. Make sure it's relevant, that they know when I go to this course, I'm going to go and I can use it in X, Y, and Z. Make it fun, involve everybody there as far as up and down, and not just internally. I mean, we have, executives and stuff that come out that congratulate people, but family as well. Central Penn does an amazing job for our graduation ceremony. They put on one heck of a spread. I hope they get it from our store. And we have a nice award ceremony. There's like a valedictorian that the students kind of elect to give a speech. We have various notables that come up and talk, but the team members are allowed to invite friends, family, parents. The store managers show up, the human resource business partners shows up. We have our VP of HR show up, various directors and other people. So it is a big family event. It's the Giant family that's kind of come out to really support them. So when you do it, what are you going to do? Make a big deal out of it. It's a lot of work, but it has a purpose. And don't be afraid to take a look at that first draft and say, no, this isn't exactly going to meet our needs or what we want. Like, we went back and forth a lot to really hone down and get the coursework to be exactly where it is. Go in with a purpose, but again, not standalone. Now that you've done that, how does it fit in with your overall development package and offerings with everything else your organization does? Does it fit in nicely? Do you have a specific point? Is it beginning, middle, end, advanced? Or is it something that you have all of this and now here's this thing that's way out in left field and people are trying to figure out how to get in and to use it? Proper planning.
And to speak to that from the educational partner side, if you're an organization, if you're a retailer, whoever it might be, to speak to all of Anthony's points, you have to find the right partner that's able to mirror those offerings and those goals you're trying to accomplish. So, in terms of the benefits in continuing education, we've highlighted on today's session the 4 credit certificate program, the non-credit trainings. The third one that Anthony has kind of alluded to in terms of continuing education, on our side as the educational partner, we offer what's called our partner program, which provides an additional scholarship for any Giant employees who are utilizing tuition reimbursement who want to further their education. But it's not just for those in that custom certificate. It's something that's available to any and all Giant team members as long as they're using that tuition reimbursement. So now you have coming to the table an educational partner who's not just building a one-off program. As Anthony mentioned, it's how do we keep that going? How do we keep them engaged at multiple levels? And even beyond students that aren't in those programs, if someone knocked on HR's door one day and said, hey, I know I just need a standard associate's degree in accounting, where should I look? Well, it's a non-exclusive partnership. You can partner with tons of other schools. We just want to be one of the many opportunities on that list, and we'll provide a little scholarship to help you get that step of the way. So to speak to all Anthony's points, it's great to have that plan, put in the time or preparation, and it's about finding the right partner to help you get across the finish line. Dr. Jack, is he unmuted as well?
Yeah, I think it's important too that we, stress the involvement that Giant has with each of their students. They don't leave any student out on an island. They are in constant communication with the college, with us. Every Monday morning, the first email I get is what, Curtis? It's an email saying, "Hey, what does the grade book look like? What's going on?" And then I'll let Curtis know as soon as I get done grading. He'll go and make contact with Giant. They have a great mentorship program set up. We're in those discussions with the mentors. We let them know what's coming up. They give their students time to do the work that they need to do. They provide all the resources, if from books to if someone needs a computer. So I think all of those things are important, because going back to school, especially after not being there for a while, is very difficult and stressful, and they try to make that transition as easy as possible and provide a ton of support for their students.
That's amazing. So, Christian, any thoughts as well? Any feedback you might have for anybody thinking about doing this? You were a student. You have a unique perspective on this.
Absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, do not be afraid to ask questions and understand that you have those resources available to you. People want you to succeed. They want you to do well. They want you to grow and earn something and then take that to the next level. So again, not being afraid to ask questions, reach out. Everyone was so patient during the program, emailing back very quickly, being able to take a call, provide additional resources. So again, ask those questions. Don't be afraid. people want you to do well.
That's awesome. So every industry has its hacks. Was there and things that they learned? Was there anything that really stood out? I guess it's really for you, Christian. Anything that really stood out that really surprised you, that you were really blew your mind that you learned while you were in the program?
There were parts that I was learning, and then I felt like immediately I was doing them with my job, but I was not thinking about it.
Cool. Well, guys, I got one last question for you, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. So, for each of you guys, what's one key takeaway about the impact of this partnership and what you'd like the listeners to remember?
The key takeaway for me was just the cooperation between the two organizations and how we were able to make this thing come together and be successful. And after 5, 6 years of doing it, I'm still I sit back and go, wow, that's I think that's pretty amazing what the two organizations were able to do. And again, the what Giant does for their employees, you don't see that a lot. You don't see especially the younger generation, they want professional development. They're almost demanding professional development in the workforce. And you see companies just cutting budgets and not doing anything. And then they'll complain about turnover and other things. But it really is it's encouraging to see a Giant invest this much in their employees and their professional development.
Curtis?
Terms of impact, I'd say when all we hear about on the news right now is student loans, student debts, things like that, here is a prime example, I feel, of just a tremendous partnership between education and organizations out there to rethink college in a different way. You have a organization who over the past 5 years has been able to receive tailored fit, customized, exclusive educational experience from a college in their backyard, not necessarily just sending 20 or 30 students at a time for just randomly picking courses out of a course catalog. It's truly meeting halfway or more together to really come together and change lives for the students that are going through this experience. And it's not just helping them learn and grow educationally, as Christian has spoken to, it's helping them learn and grow personally and professionally. And Christian, I think we can equate to some of the experiences you're having of I'm noticing things now like Dr. Jack used an example of the time you search for one thing online and then you start seeing all the ads, or you buy a new car and then you start driving, oh, you start seeing that car everywhere. It's helping these students be a little bit more self-aware of taking and transitioning what they're learning in the textbook and real world application. I just can't thank enough our friends and partners at the Giant Company, Anthony and his team. Like he's mentioned in the call earlier, over 100 graduates, we've helped change the lives over 100 students by getting them real world educational opportunity.
I'll say we have 5 values with the organization, and I believe the two that really come to mind for this as far as a takeaway are courage and teamwork. One, it's the teamwork of going out, reaching out, getting everybody together to sit and talk about what's going on, what the needs are, both internally and then also with the education system that you decide to work with. Are they a good fit? Do they share those values with you? Encourage. Really, when we first kind of brought this idea up, it's kind of like, well, okay, we want to put this big education program together and cram all this learning into these weeks. People do a double take at it, but with the proper planning, we were courageous. We went, we stepped forward. We knew it was doing the right thing for our team members. We sat and took a chance. We made sure that we set them up for success. And so those 2 items, be courageous, try something new and different, but through teamwork and planning, you can sit in and make sure it's exactly what you're going to need, and you're going to come out with a success just like we did.
It's a lot of hard work, but you got to make that time, set that aside to take to do those courses and the learnings, but have fun doing it. Don't you get out of it with what you put into it. So have fun with it. Have fun learning, it's a
No,
great thing.
it is. Education is such an important thing. Well, guys, this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. It's always great to see our members collaborating in this kind of a way. On the show today, we had Curtis Voelker from Central Penn College, Dr. Jack as well, Anthony Amadure from Giant, and our program alum Christian came here and shared their experiences firsthand. We really appreciate you all coming on the show to talk with us about that. So thank you so very much. If you're interested in learning more about workforce development partnerships or programs like this, feel free to reach out to Central Penn College or Giant. Thank you for tuning in to Shelf Confidence. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, share, or review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, I'm John Zimmerman, and this is Shelf Confidence.